Ladies, what is the most obvious hint you've dropped that went unnoticed by a guy? This is a hint a girl dropped for me. Girl, hey, me, hi girl, I'm home alone, wanna come over? Me, it's sort of cold out girl, oh. Didn't even think about it until I was laying in bed that night. I told my boyfriend to get naked and he responded you get naked, so I said okay. I will if you're nice to me. He laughed and went to sleep. Guess he didn't want to be nice. When I was in senior in high school during prom season, there was this girl in most of the classes I was attending. We were good friends, we had much in common, we were at the top of our class. Also, I thought she was cute. One day she and her friend approaches me during lunch. Girl, hey, don't you wanna ask me something? Raises eyebrows. Me, I don't know, what? She and her friend gives each other a look. Girl, are you going to prom? Me, I'm not sure, I don't have anyone to with. End scene. I didn't get the hint until years after. But I did end up going to prom with the fellas. I'm a fool. I'm a guy and I've told this story before, but I must again, to make clear how oblivious we are. Met this girl through my female best friend. Her and I became friends due to our mutual love of movies. She's come by most evenings and we chill, smoke a joint and watch foreign films, work through the Criterion collection, or catch some underground cult classics. She'd often stay well into the night and sleep over. Often in my room with me. This went on for a long while, and then one day she just disappeared, cut off Facebook and everything, gone. I knew I did nothing, so I figured life changed and went on. Flash forward to years later / last year ish, I'm on the phone with my best friend and make some joke about Netflix and chill to her. She says that's what I spent months trying to do with you. I swear I didn't know until that moment, and worst part is, I was head over heels for that girl. My current boyfriend and I started out in this weird friends that flirt stage. I was trying to find a way to get him to make a move. One very hot evening, middle of August, we were sitting in his backyard with a few of our friends drinking beer. I sat on the same lawn chair as him, kind of wiggled in, and said I'm cold. He left me alone in the chair and proceeded to build a giant fire. It took like an hour. When he was finished making the fire, he sat back down in a different lawn chair. We were married 2 full years before I finally understood that if she took a bath at night I was going to get some. Watched a lot of baseball while she lay sparkling clean in bed alone. As a guy, I completely see your hints all the time, but I'm afraid that I'm wrong and going to get rejected or made a fool out of myself, so I don't do anything. I was staying the night at a female friend's house. I had a huge crush on her, and it was the first night sleeping in the same bed. Just so you know, jeans aren't allowed in my bed. You have to take the off. Me, lol, that's a dumb rule, keeps them on. That one still stings. I was living with my then boyfriend a few years ago. Feeling a little flirtatious, I suggested we could take a shower together, you know, to save water, wink wink. His response? Why? We don't pay for water. Shut down. Me, I think you're really cute, and I like you a lot. Him, oh, thanks. Accepting this unrequited crush, I decided I was happy being friends with him. 3 months down the line he spent hours comforting me after a disastrous night, and then finally confessed he had feelings for me, going back 6 months. When I asked why, he didn't say anything when I told him my feelings, but I wasn't sure you liked me. That was 4 years ago. He's still as cute and dense now, and is fast asleep next to me. A friend, now boyfriend of 7 years, asked what I wanted to do that night. I said you. He didn't even seem to register what I had said. He was like, we should go see X movie. Him, I don't want to pressure you, but it's pretty late, and I think you should spend the night. My couch is super comfortable, and I can make it up for you if you'd like. Me, maybe I could sleep in your bed with you. Him, I promise the couch isn't bad brutal. As I was reading this thread, my next door neighbor asked if I can come kill an ant in her room because she's too scared to do it. I almost didn't reply. Almost. The fact that I was reading this thread was the only reason I knew she wants to chill. Hopefully she doesn't actually just want me to kill an ant. This girl was sitting with our group of boys and saying if I was to get with one of you, it would be you, my name, and I was just like, ah, thanks very much, very kind of you to say that. After many moons of trying, get this guy in bed, I straight up humped his leg in an act of horny desperation. He thought it was hilarious. Years later he asked me why we never hooked up. I started talking to a guy who was behind on Game of Thrones. So I offered to give him my HBO password so we could watch it at his place, thinking it would be a good excuse to hang out. He ends up marathoning the show without me. We are dating now, but he sure as hell not watch season 7 without me. Hitting on my now boyfriend of 3 years. I was complimenting him on how handsome he was and how he had beautiful eyes. I wanted a closer view of them, so he texted me this creepy ass shot of his eyeball with his eyes widely opened as possible. He legitimately thought that's what I wanted. After our first date, I immediately started talking about potential future dates and how much fun I had with him. I stayed out so late that I missed my friend's party. However, because I didn't hug him properly and asked to split the cost of the meal, he thought I wasn't actually interested. I was laying down on a bench with my head in his lap talking about our previous experiences. This was high school, and he told me he had never had a BJ before. I told him, with my head in his crotch, that I could blow his mind. Nothing. Crickets.